Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to today's live stream. I'm looking for my camera. Just a moment. There it is. Today's topic is flexibility and acceptance for more happiness. And there's my text. And I will record the video, which I will edit in about 1 or 2 months, maybe. I'm editing July at the moment. Yeah, I'm slow. I have a lot to do. And after that, I will tell you something about one of the last days. We can do this. If you have any questions, write them into the chat. And let's start. Flexibility and acceptance for more happiness in life. Many of us know this all too well. Instead of accepting, we fight stubbornly. Text bigger, it's too small. This is wrong. Command plus space plus. Okay, that's it. That's great. Perfect. Now I have to look for the title. Scroll up. Okay. Against injustice, against the thought, why always me? Some take their struggles to court, others shout at drivers who cut them off. Still others spend decades in therapy, holding on to past traumas. I made these mistakes too, but at some point I said, enough. I accept what cannot be changed, and even if I can change something, the path always begins with acceptance of the present moment. Do you know Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now? I'm reading it in English now. I'm reading it in English right now. I will prepare a detailed summary of it, chapter by chapter, in 6 languages, but that will take some time. Until then, I would like to share my thoughts with you in this live and in a blog article in 6 languages. So, join in, talk with me about it. In the video description, you'll find all the information about the lives and blog articles in 6 languages. And now I will show you how Eckhart Tolle and Buddhist teaching view the topic of flexibility and acceptance. And I'll give you concrete examples from my own life to show you how to apply these tips. Flexibility as a key to happiness. Flexibility means staying mentally agile when life develops differently than planned. During my 7 years living in a car, I experienced this again and again. When my Skoda Fabia with rooftop tent became too cramped, I switched to an SUV without hesitation and set myself up there. I even lived in rental cars at times. Every time I had to adjust again. Even during COVID, I found a way to continue my lifestyle when everything was closed. I went swimming in rivers in the middle of winter, so I didn't always have to drive 100 kilometers to the truck stop for a shower. This adaptability helped me feel free instead of restricted. Even in a tiny house, uh, even in my tiny house, I have to stay flexible. When my plot lease was terminated, I could have lost myself in anger. Instead, I immediately started looking for alternatives at Lake Ammer, Lake, Lake Tegernsee, or elsewhere in Bavaria. Flexibility gives me the strength to find solutions. And in the long run, that makes. Sorry, I'm tired. It's a long day. And in the long run, that makes you happier than clinging to the impossible. Acceptance brings inner peace. Acceptance does not mean approving of everything. It means acknowledging reality as it is. In the car, I often had to accept that it was cold. Instead of complaining for hours, I used my minus 40 degrees Celsius sleeping bag, piled 4 blankets on top, wore a snowsuit and hat, and in the morning knocked ice out of my hair. Often my first sip of water came from a handful of snow, because the bottles in the car were frozen solid. During the day I walked as much as possible, and shortly before online lessons I drove around the block to heat the car for an hour. Everything works if you really want it to. Even today, acceptance accompanies me in my tiny house. Even now. Why didn't I change that? Maybe I have to change it in French too. Okay. Even now, acceptance accompanies me in my tiny house. I carry water in buckets to the washroom. It's exhausting, but I don't complain. I use the walks back and forth for reflection and accept that it is how it is right now. This attitude reduces stress and brings me closer to happiness. From anger to calm, concrete everyday situations. Instead of acceptance, many people experience the opposite. They shout at drivers who take their right of way, or they complain endlessly about traffic jams and construction sites. I used to be the same, but today I use traffic jams to listen to something interesting, call someone, or meditate briefly. And when I see an accident, I am simply grateful that I am unharmed. Plan changes are another good example. In the car, I often couldn't find a quiet parking spot. Instead of despairing, I kept searching. Sometimes the 10th spot was even more beautiful than the first. I experience the same thing now while working on my language course Relax to A1. I had to change the original structure several times. Through this flexibility, a better concept emerged. Even though I'm still only at the first of 12 chapters, I'm grateful that through trial and error, learning by doing, I found the best way of presenting and making the content accessible. Practices for flexibility and acceptance in everyday life. To make flexibility and acceptance more than just words, small rituals help. When I was still living in my car, I took deep breaths and said a prayer of thanks before every drive. Today I do the same on my morning walks. This breathing anchor brings me straight into the present moment. A second step is observing thoughts. Back in the car, I often thought, I'm not safe. Over time, I realized that was just a thought. not the truth. In reality, I was safe. The same applies today in the tiny house. When the thought comes, I can't find peace. By questioning the thought, I lose anger and fear. Especially helpful is my mini mantra. This too may be here. Everything is okay. Thank you. In the car, I said it when it rained on the roof for days. In the tiny house, I say it when someone is noisy outside at night. Each time I feel my inner resistance fade. Finally, looking at something with gratitude helps. In the car, it was sunrises on the beach in Tenerife. Today, it's creamy lattes in the cafe or walks by the lake. Consciously noticing these moments is a direct path to happiness. Flexibility and acceptance lead to happiness in the here and now. When we become more flexible, we let go of rigid clinging. When we accept what is, we stop fighting. Both give us lightness and resilience. I experienced this in the car when, despite breakdowns, I simply drove on the next day. Or when I encountered criminals and nothing happened to me. And I experience it today in the tiny house when, despite nighttime noise, I go for a morning walk by the lake and enjoy the beauty. Presence is the key. Happiness does not arise in the past or in the future. Happiness is now. Eckhart Tolle and Buddhist teaching emphasize exactly this, and my experience confirms it. Conclusion. With flexibility and acceptance towards more happiness. Flexibility and acceptance are more than just nice words. They are tools for a fulfilling life. Whether in the car or in the tiny house, my experiences show that inner agility and embracing reality lead to more lightness, resilience, and happiness. If you would like to explore this topic further, you will find the article in 6 languages on my blog. There you can reread the thoughts in your own language. In the comments, I look forward to your experiences. Where has flexibility helped you? In which situations has acceptance made your life easier? All information about my lives, blog articles, and projects can be found in the video description and on my blog. Join in, share your thoughts, and let's discover together how flexibility and acceptance can lead to more happiness in everyday life. Okay, and now for something different. Wait a moment. I need my notes. And I need my diary. In German, I gave you the 16th. So 2 days later, maybe the 18th. Just a moment, I have to copy paste this. Because at the moment I don't post every day, because I concentrate more on creating the course. Okay. Diary, September 18th. Wait. I got it in Code Block, and I can't read the right part. So I have to put it somewhere where I can read the whole text. Okay. Diary, September. What is the matter? Why can't I talk? I'm very tired. What's this? Oh, it's got worse. That's better, much better. Diary, September 18th, 2025. Morning. On Thursday, I got up at 8:30 and walked along the lake to the cafe. Then I treated myself to a latte and a piece of cheesecake with sour cream, wrote in my journal, and planned my day. Afterwards, I continued reading The Power of Now. Finally, I went to the train station and took the train to Munich. Midday. At Harras, I first bought detergent and hygiene rinse at DM. Then I put my sleeping bag in the 10-kilo machine at the laundromat. In the meantime, I went to a cafe, used the restroom there, and treated myself to a latte with cheesecake. Afterwards, I put the sleeping bag in the dryer. Afternoon. On the return trip, I prepared documents for Eleanor. Then I had my learning partnership, this time without a phone call, just correcting each other's work. In Gmund, I went shopping at Edeka and bought milk, Müllermilch, pudding, syrup, cola, and apples. Finally, I took the bus home. Then I planned how to move forward because the rejection from the new landlords in Lower Bavaria arrived exactly when I had sent the letter I wanted to hand in at the district office. In it, I had written that my tiny house does not have a ceiling height of 2 meters 20, no bathroom, no kitchen, and no heating. Therefore, I had to post another ad online and contact property owners whose offers I had found on the internet. Evening. To finish the day, I watched a bit of YouTube and went to bed around 10 o'clock. There is kind of a mistake in the text, which I will instantly correct in German. The thing is that in reality, I didn't have a learning partnership after I corrected something for Eleanor. But it was the learning partnership where I corrected something. So I will say on the way back home, I had my learning partnership with, not with Eleanor. I have to write it in German while I'm saying it in English. Without phone call, only correcting mutually our documents. Yeah, okay, so then the rest is partly okay because it wasn't Edeka, it was Rewe, where about the things, and then the rest is okay. Good. So that's all for now. Where are you? I have so many windows open. There you are. No questions. Okay, then I will see you not next week. Yeah, at the moment I only have 12 lives each month. That means 2 in English. And the other languages also 2 each. Yeah, that's because I have to concentrate and focus on my course creation. I also have help from Fiverr now, italki and Fiverr. It's getting expensive, but I can afford it. I earn something on Patreon. I use the Patreon money to finance my course. Okay, see you soon. Bye bye.